I do love the Rick Sanchez burp in the middle of your explanation there.
Thank you for joining us for our 38th episode of We Burn, We Rise. Today I'm joined by Fluffy and Dustin from Aura Exchange. We're happy to have you with us today for updates from all across the Phoenix Initiative. Before we open the chat up for Q&A, keep in mind that the Q&A will be recorded, so we do appreciate the community's adherence to keeping the discussion profanity-free. I'd like to start the meeting by handing the baton off to Dustin about Aura Exchange. We have a partnership coming up with them, and it is exciting.
Yeah, how's it going? So,
hello, welcome.
Appreciate it. What do we want to talk about first? There's so much to talk about. I don't know.
How about just what is Aura Exchange? No, I don't think that we've even dropped what it is.
So, Aura Exchange is our solution to NFT marketplaces not appreciating or paying back or adding utility to their communities that basically make them the several billions of dollars a year. Basically what Aura is, it's a marketplace to add utility to your project. So what we do is we provide PCMs, or private custom marketplaces. The purpose behind those is to give communities the ability to have a singular place to have all of their collections, all of their mints, all their staking, everything all in one place. That way you can alleviate the scam links and issues with the wallet drains and like that as much as possible. Now, the cool thing about Aura is the fact that you can actually token gate these PCMs or token gate portions of them to where a certain NFT has to be held in order to access certain parts. But we support over 700 EVM chains, which includes Phoenix plus Solana. And that chain list is growing daily. But we have one of the first marketplaces that actually pays back rev share, and not just rev share, but rev share in the native token. So it's not like having to get a utility token that you got to pay gas to swap. You get right now for ETH, you get ETH back every quarter for your rev share. The rev share NFTs get 20% of all Aura transactions split amongst all the rev share holders. So really excited about that. And, of course, like I said, we are going to be getting on Phoenix here soon. We got some stuff worked out with that. So that's a quick overview on it.
Third Web, I see the logo up there.
Mm-hmm.
What's that all about?
So Third Web powers everything that we do with Aura. Third Web is, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the ultimate onboarding Web3 company. They provide basically a development framework for not even just experienced developers, but even no code. So the idea behind Third Web is they're pushing an initiative to onboard as many into Web3 as possible and to build all the way from experienced developers to creating brand new, never written code in their life developers. And they have some pretty awesome solutions and products for building out things like marketplaces and NFT projects and so on. But they are what powers everything that we do at Aura. So,
yeah, I mean, they have such a crazy amount of solutions here. I even see a gaming kit that I was looking at. Partnership with Coinbase. Let's go.
Yeah, Coinbase actually, Coinbase back in August gave them $25 million in seed investment. So they're heavily vested in them.
Woo! Jeez.
I do love the Rick Sanchez burp in the middle of your explanation there.
Rick Sanchez. We don't talk about that guy anymore. Anyway, back to Aura Exchange. All right, so you said the first place that you guys deployed your RevShare NFTs are on Ethereum.
Right.
And you plan for 700 more.
Yep.
Different chains that you can get on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the goal is...
How does that all work?
Well, excuse me. The goal is to support as many chains as possible by giving rev share or giving the community a portion back of the sales. It's like a community-owned marketplace. OpenSea made roughly $8 billion, I believe it was, in 2022. Not a dime of that came back to any one of us. And, it's just getting their customer service is getting worse. The platform's getting worse. Though they have recently picked it up, but they haven't really shown any, I guess, gratefulness for all the millions of people that have spent their hard-earned ETH on their platform. Well, that's the whole point behind Aura, is actually to give it back to the community. There's no reason why a 7-person company needs $8 billion and can't do anything to provide back, especially for a brand new space. So the goal is to offer rev share for every, like I said, we cover over 700 chains right now. The goal is to offer rev share in their native token for each chain. So if there's a representative for like Chronos chain that wants to start up an Aura branch for Chronos, we can do that. Then all their community members can get paid back in Crow every time they get a payout. Same thing with Phoenix, same thing with BSC, Polygon, Solana, just whichever chain it's on. And basically what that does, that gives a driving initiative to have people to use these. So one of the perks behind the PCM is free dev work. So not only are we giving a safe place for people to degen and do all their NFT needs, but we're trying to standardize development work across the board. One of the biggest hindrances for projects is finding a developer. The asinine amount of money that some people want to charge for development work is just ridiculous. And there are great projects that never make it because they can't afford it. So,
we know.
Yeah.
we see it all the time. I mean, we just got quoted from Multi-Chain just to have us finalize our node there. They want $12K.
Yeah.
Okay, we're community run.
And there's a lot of stuff, I'm not saying
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I forgot what I was saying now.
Developers cost a lot. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's an obnoxious thing. Even something like we got quoted $1,000 just to have someone do price pulling, whatever that's called, API.
Yeah. So some of the stuff that's justified, I would say, but the biggest thing, like the community level stuff, project level stuff, people are charging. For example, if someone were to, Chronic Cats, actually, whenever I tried to get my contract built at the beginning, because I had never done any coding, which is why I do it now, it was going to cost me $110,000. So I would have $10,000 down up front and then 10% of my mint. And that would have been $110,000 I would have paid for somebody who put zero effort towards pushing that project to sell out. And that's ridiculous. Contract audits cost significant amounts of money, and it is not necessary. There's not 10 grand worth of work done when the 90% of it's automated. But I'm not saying it doesn't justify quality, doesn't justify the price, but when you standardize things, especially when you're in the midst of a brand new industry or brand new era, or industrial age, I guess you would call it. We need people.
It's like a brand new tech age. Yeah. We're literally on the precipice of AI taking out half of our jobs in the world.
Yep.
We're almost there.
We're close. I've seen AI do some stuff that is unimaginable. But
yeah, there was I just saw an article of how to make ChatGPT create a game in less than 60 seconds. What?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. The more you feed the more you feed the AI, the more it retains. The more it retains, the smarter it gets. But that's the same thing with the space. The space has a lot of good potential, but the people we allow to take leadership and basically control the narrative is what's going to ultimately be the hindrance of it. So by providing discounted or free dev work, we get more people with better visions, better goals, and ultimately, most likely, all around better projects than some of these blue chips. They actually get them to be out there to start getting going, or start going on their project and growing what they're wanting to do. And between that and having communities spend their crypto within each other's communities, You've got to have an ecosystem for anything to prosper. And if we're only worrying about our own project and no one else's, we're just like a bunch of islands out in the middle of the ocean. What happens if a tsunami comes across and wipes one of us out? Well, there's that person's down. But if you could metaphorically pull the two, like Waterworld, all the islands together and create a big ecosystem, then you have a lot better chance of surviving. That's the same way in Web3. The more people you have in an ecosystem that, collaborate with each other and spend in each other's ecosystem, the more stable it is. So that's the goal with Aura, between ETH and all the other 700 plus EVMs, and then Solana. We're also working on Bitcoin and a few of the other chains as well.
Oh,
yeah. So it's gonna, the plan by the end of the year is to have something on everything, but make it to where it's functional, at least for everybody. We just recently announced about our commerce kit, which is done through Third Web, which is going to allow people to have merch stores that you can token gate items and be able to sell based off of NFT. So if you hold a particular NFT, you could either get the item for free, and if you don't hold it, then you have to pay full price for it or something like that. That was a big contract announced with Shopify through Third Web just two or 3 weeks ago. And that's exclusive. So it's top of the line stuff, or cutting edge stuff right there. That's coming out with, IRL merch tied in with Web3 NFTs and stuff. So
yeah, I like the direction that this is heading. I think we in general like third party more and more. But anyway, Aura is it's going in a great direction. I see a couple things here. I don't know if you want to take over and you screen share. Do you have your wallet that you can connect and show?
Yeah,
a private a PCM? Yep.
One sec. So right now we're Aura is in soft launch, sort of like a beta. We're live on mainnet, but we're working out all the kinks, like with the contract metadata and whatnot. But basically, each PCM will be designed for a particular collection. What this doesn't mean that you can no longer trade on OpenSea or Blur or LooksRare or things like that. This simply means that this gives you a place, because it's ran with an RPC, or its own custom RPC rather. This gives you a place to list if a community member needs ETH or Phoenix or whatever. It's a place to list that doesn't reflect on OpenSea or Blur or LooksRare, so the price doesn't reflect drop in the floor or anything like that. This is completely private. If somebody has hard up and they want to drop a Chronic Cat on here for the community pickup, they can always come back and get it. But it basically controls or gives you a place to maintain everything. One of the cool ones, there's actually a better one. So there's a project, Rare Lazy Pepes. Their PCM has their current mint in it. So they're still minting, but they have their minting debt built right into it. So they just give their community their PCM address, and then they can go and mint and then turn around and purchase, buy, sell, trade all of their Realizia Pepe NFTs directly from their PCM, and they never have to leave this site.
So does that mean that you can also host a minting dApp on there, or do they still have to create that separately?
No. So that's one of the things. That's one of the free things that you get with a PCM. So if they want, say, if a project wants to have a second mint, we create the minting contract, we create the minting dApp free, and then we integrate it into your Aura PCM. If you want a token, we'll do that for free. Not everybody gets free stuff all the time because that's a lot of dev work, but like a token contract and an extra mint a year is what each public or each free PCM gets. We do have paid partnerships that get white label privileges. So an NFT project called NFA, Non-Fungible Art, they are a paid partnership. So they get to white label the Aura PCM. So it's basically, it all says NFA on it, 100% theirs, yet it still uses the Aura contract. So every transaction they have on their white labeled marketplace, Aura pass holders still get their 20% of that transaction for the rev share allocation. So, but that comes with basically unlimited dev work, within reason. Can't be doing stuff 24 hours a day, but they want updates.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So
And then, so what if I'm a brand new project that hasn't even launched?
So, I mean, we can have your PCM up and ready to go for whenever you do launch. Basically, what will happen is just be your page. And then, well, actually, let me see. This one just got just launched. So as the NFTs are minted, it'll populate, but they'll start out with the buy NFTs will be blank. And then if they want to mint, obviously the mint's going to be right here for them. All they got to do is go to the mint tab and start minting from there. This one's got 130 out of 3,033 minted. So,
oh, this is great. I mean, we have Zegex, the NFT market or auction style, but we don't have anything that is like this where it would be a full launch pad.
Oh yeah,
all inclusive with your own PCM. That's really cool.
So one of the cool things about the PCMs, I don't have an example of it just yet, but I can do this. So we have what's called the Founders Portal. It's being put in. So every contract, every PCM that gets, or every project that gets a PCM rather, comes with a NFT dashboard for their founders. So this gives you the ability to look at your contract, use Contract Explorer and stuff without having to go to Etherscan. And each project gets this. Well, we're turning that into a founders hub to where they can go and actually deploy new contracts, maintain their current contracts, check the NFTs, check the mints, and so on and so forth. And that's another utility provided free for project partners that come in and use Aura as their marketplace. So it's just a little.
You're literally integrating everything that Third Web offers, and you're showing like,
yep,
what we can do in Aura. It's amazing.
Yep,
I love it because you can do some stuff at Third Web, but you still need something like a landing page. You still need to create the exchange that you actually go to.
Yep,
like you would have to have all, and you're providing that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So one of the things we provide too now is the storage. And so there's no longer a need to pay for a pinning service like IPFS. You have the storage tab on the Founders dashboard, which is powered by Third Web. All you have to do is upload your images, your JSON files here, and then it'll populate a CID for you, and it will use Third Web's gateway to be able to pin all your stuff, and you no longer have to pay for pinning services, which right now I'm paying $100 a month to host. I got about 55,000 NFTs that I've got on Pinata. And it's about $100 a month just for that. So that's a big thing right there. Another thing we're doing too is, this is the first, nobody's doing this. So ENS domains, all our partnerships or all our projects now have the ability to have a .their project domain. So we'll offer a TLD service for, say, like Chronic Cats. If we wanted to have a .chronic cats or a .cats, that is a service that's provided free for PCM partners. Now, obviously the mint money, that's all comes back to Aura. That is one thing that does not get shared in rev share. That's because we're setting these up to where you pay your registration fee and that's it, one time and done, and never have to register it again. So the mint for the Aura domains comes back to service all that. That does not get included in rev share, but that is an additional utility. So like the Lacey's, there we go. They want to have a Aura domain, so it's .layc. Pepe's wants a .payc. They get all that for free. So you'll have, just like an ENS, so like a .eth, you'll be able to send that out as your address, and that's where your funds will go.
And you have more. There's something called comms.
Yep. So comms this is our beta right now. So basically what comms is the Discord VC. And what it's designed to do is to give your community a place, like I said, with no links, to be able to go and have everything they need. So this is set up just like VC for Discord. Later on this month, this will actually incorporate, the main chat, general chat and all this stuff. You'll have the ability to put like a community announcement board and so on and so forth. But right now it's just the basic, comms, like VC style chat room. So, but ultimately, like I said, this is to have everything, your website where you communicate, dashboard, announcement channel, all this stuff in one singular place. That way you don't ever have to worry about somebody getting sent a fish or a fake link and get their wallet drained, or at least try to prevent it as much as possible. Yeah. So the only way we're going to be able to grow this space for what the potential behind it is if we cut all the bull crap out with, phishing leaks, robbing people blind, and promoting scammy mints. This is our approach at it. It may work, may not work, but at least we're trying something. I have good faith that it's actually going to pan out and do very well. Like I say in Discord, this marketplace is not my marketplace. It's not board chairman's marketplace. It's our marketplace. And everyone has a clear understanding that when you buy an Aura membership pass, it's a DAO. From that point on, we have 60% going to 30% going to the Aura DAO, and it's community ran. It's not just 2 or 3 dudes in New York just updating shit every once in a while and fixing stuff after they get enough tweets about it. This is an active, growing project marketplace. That the community has as much say in as the 2 guys that founded it. So, the official launch date is supposed to be on March 31st at Miami NFT Week. So we got a lot to talk
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It sounds like you're going to a big convention.
Yeah. So last year thanks to Fluffy, I had the pleasure of co-hosting Miami NFT Week. Well, this year I've got the pleasure of actually being one of the main sponsors. So I'm going to go down there and I'm doing a workshop, 50-minute workshop for Web3 recording artists on how to create their own contract using Third Web and to start taking control of their IP rights. Well, in addition to that, we're going to be having a booth set up in the main event, and I'll be speaking on IP rights there as well. And we'll be announcing the official launch of Aura while we're down there. So
it's amazing.
And,
so you're going to
talking about how awesome Phoenix is.
Yeah, I'm talking about how awesome Phoenix is.
Speaking of Phoenix, so when we do, because we are still finalizing things on this, and when we do launch on Aura Exchange, your Chronics will be one of the featured projects.
Yeah, I wouldn't say featured projects, but yeah, all the NFTs that are currently on Phoenix will automatically have a PCM populated. So you will now be able to go and look at a site that actually shows your NFTs. Go start buying, selling, trading. All Chronic Cats, Manic Mouse, the Crypto Dudes, everything that we've done and released on Phoenix will have a place for you to actually go view them visually and actually trade with them. So we have Aura Hub, which is, for lack of a better term, the publicly traded marketplace, or the public. That's where all the collections are listed. So on the PCMs, you have your profile that shows only your NFTs from that collection. But if you're on the Aura Hub, you'll have the profile which will show all the NFTs in your wallet. And yes, once you click on them, there'll be a link. I haven't decided where it's going to be put at. It'd probably just be the actual contract, like right here. You click on it, it'll transfer you to each individual PCM. So
cool, very cool. Yeah, absolutely. That is needed because as we know, we need more and more user-friendly things like this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
To start with, my name's Aaron Brown, fully doxed. In the Lord Labs Discord, I do have a LinkedIn profile that anyone can jump on and see, my past working history with. Ultimately, I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 17. I guess I started off by, finding niches within whatever was going on in life. And at that stage, obviously I was into partying and night clubbing. And so I started a business at the age of 18 where I was importing records from Beach Street out of New York City and bringing them over to Australia and selling those to DJs and nightclubs and b-boys and all sorts, which was fun. But within Australia, I've run businesses and companies for the last near 32 years. Got to the point with one of my companies that we became one of the highest level premium chauffeur services in the country, known right throughout the country for best service possible. We were providing security drivers and cars for people flying in on private jets, whether it be millionaires or high-level businessmen and women, international artists, comedians, actors, all sorts, have cars at the steps of jets while they get off, and it was all kind of cool. But as we all have done at some point, we've had our eye on the blockchain, and I watched it for a couple of years. I heard about it early on. I think at the time I was messing around with BitTorrent, which was way back, I think 2010 I started with BitTorrent. Around then, played around with that for a few years, heard about the dark web, heard about, blockchain and Bitcoin and a few other things, and sort of looked at them for a few years and didn't really do anything. Got busy with work. 2016 started looking at blockchain again, and noticed there were a whole heap of other chains that had sprung up. Still, just sort of watched it for a while. 2017, aped in, bought a stack of Ethereum, spent a lot of that Ethereum on shitcoins, and the bull run through, mid to late 2017 and early 2018 was favorable, made a bit of money. However, had no real experience, being exposed to bull or bear markets. Hadn't had any involvement in stocks and shares previously. So then when the bear market hit, it hit me hard, as I wasn't prepared. So I was very fortunate in the sense that when I get stuck into something, I go all in. And in that sense, once I was committed to blockchain, I stuck with it through the bear market of 2018, and I actually learned how to trade through a bear, and whether it be crypto or NFTs, which was fun. It was kind of exhilarating to be able to make money during a tough time. So the other thing, during that same time, whilst I saw CryptoPunks come about, I looked at those and thought, what the hell do I need them for? And they were a free mint. So that was a lesson learnt, in hindsight, because at the time I was messing around with CryptoKitties with my kids, teaching them about blockchain and about traits and those sorts of things, which was fun. It helped helped me learn, helped them learn. They really showed no interest since, but that was my first entry into NFTs, and whilst it was fun, it was also learning lessons of how it all operates and how we can manipulate traits and all these different formats and styles of NFTs within the metadata that we put in, etc., which was very interesting to me. I soaked it up like a sponge. Got involved with a few projects. One, Revelation Coin, which was a crypto project. Got really involved with the community. It's quite interesting. The Rev project, which I'm still trying to look after, was to me one of the first truly decentralized cryptocurrencies, because it was airdropped to anyone that wanted any in early 2018 worldwide. I think they airdropped 1 billion of them or something. And then, as it started to grow, we started to hear stories where people in poorer communities around the world were actually trading real world goods for this Rev coin off chain. So, non-escrow, which was really interesting to see how it had been, taken on and actually utilized for what it was built for. So that was cool. But, a lot of experiences through crypto and NFTs, good and bad. Obviously with NFTs, there was a whole lot of rug and scam projects, whether intentional or not, to have a community left with their investment, in a sense, gone. However, if you look at NFTs from an art perspective, then it helps give an understanding that whilst a founder or a team may not necessarily still be, active in a project, it doesn't mean you've lost everything, because you do still have the art from the project. Excuse me, I'll have some water. So there's a lot of pros and cons that come out of these experiences. And about 19 months ago, nearly 20 months ago now, through all of these experiences, I kind of got fed up with what we were all having to deal with in blockchain as an industry. And this, for me, this is very important, because industry growth is something that I've been at the forefront of for the last 20 years, no matter what industry it is I've been in, and pushing the boundaries in order to help an industry grow and thrive is one of the key factors for me to belong to an industry, to know that it's not stagnant. And so these sort of morals and business style ethics is what led myself and Dustin to get to this point. And about 19, 20 months ago, I kind of sat down and really had to think about what I did and didn't like about the industry, and about the way things were being, whether it was things were being implemented, whether it was how or what control or levels of control communities did or didn't have. And I basically went through, what would I like, how would I like a project ultimately to be run or handled or distributed, etc. And that led me to really coming up with the Lord Labs ecosystem, which Lord Labs is a collective of individuals, myself, Dustin, and a few others, who have ultimately come together to help change the way the industry is moving, because of those experiences that we've all been through, and that point of sitting down and really having to think about what can be changed, and why does it need to be changed, and how can we change it. And ultimately, the answers to those why and how is basically the industry needs to be better. As an industry, it's currently in its infancy when you look at blockchain industry itself, compared to other industries around the world, and the way or how it's being handled or manipulated, or the perception of it, etc. It's not in a good place, and this is what really has driven me to connect with Dustin on the level that we have, and build what we have in regards to Aura and the Aura hub, the ecosystem that we've currently got built, and everything else that's still to come. The need to have an industry that is a positive one is at the absolute forefront of the level of thinking. And we all talk about onboarding the masses. It's been a topic of discussion for years within crypto and NFTs. And whilst we currently have very high level companies getting into blockchain, we still don't have the onboarding of masses. And in my opinion, this is because the industry isn't ready, and because of the state of the industry and how people are treated when they enter the industry. You know, in business, we have this mindset saying that if someone has a bad experience, they're more likely to go and tell 20 plus people about their bad experience. But if someone has a good experience, they'll potentially go and tell 5 or so people about their good experience. So a bad experience, while it is still exposure, when you have an industry that is so young, that doesn't help the growth of the industry, because you have more people thinking negatively of it. And when there's a lot that isn't understood by the masses, it then makes it hard for us within the industry to onboard those masses. So the biggest key factor for the industry moving forward is to create a positive industry that has a lot of good. And the only way to do that is by forcing change within the industry. So hence we have what we've called the Aura Exchange and the Aura Hub with all of its features and services.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And to comment on what you just said, bring ownership and give people a stake in what's happening instead of just have them on the sidelines where they'll miss the CryptoPunks or something on the side.
Yeah, ownership is key. That's very well put. If you've got people investing money into something, no matter what industry it is, they need to feel as though they have a level of ownership. And previously, the ownership was left with, when we're talking about cryptocurrency projects or NFT projects, the ownership was, left in the hands of the individuals or team who had created it. Sometimes there's been community DAOs set up where the community gets a bit of a say. However, in very few cases that I've seen, there's actually been, real governance or gains made through that style of, community involvement, because it hasn't really been set up in the first place for, a community to really have a level of ownership. And so that's where a lot of the, a lot of the principles around what we do and how we do it is really focused. So we have an ethos within Lord Labs, which is from dark to light. And we have an NFT system set up, which consists of 3 different NFT series or collections. And then what we call the Megaverse, which is something we touched on in a chat the other day. But the 3 NFT collections really help play out this dark to light theme. And there is an evolving lore that we have, which is available in the Lord Labs Discord. And it starts off with, in regards to the NFTs, it starts off with the Zombies of Enlightenment, or Zombies, which is not just an NFT, but it's actually a little ecosystem within itself, where there is the NFT, then there is what we call the Zoe token, which obviously the 3 letters are from Zombies of Enlightenment, and also a Zombies access pass. Zombies is really a way to break the shackles of the current industry, and within the the evolving lore. It's the zombies themselves are sent to the planet Earth from an enlightened being race who have really been focused on, I guess, training the beings here on Earth to help evolve so that it in future progresses and helps these enlightened beings at their goal. I'm not going to go too far into it. That's something that people can read and get involved with, but it's pretty cool. And then the follow-up is the bounty hunters, which come in and clean up after the zombies, and then the enlightened beings themselves come down and do their thing. And there's a lot of airdrops and all sorts of awesome stuff that are unlocked and gifted to holders within this NFT series and ecosystem, which then leads on to the Megaverse, which is something that will be developed over a period of time. But this is made possible by the features that we're launching with over 700 chains or EVMs, Phoenix blockchain included, is a massive factor for what we're doing and how we can develop and help the industry grow forward. But also the three principles that we've got, come back to that level of ownership and that mindset of helping the industry grow in a positive way. And they are safety, efficiency, and education. And the need for us to ensure, whether it's people in Web3 now or people who are coming into the industry over the next, month, 6 months, couple of years, really needs to coincide or be introduced to the industry with those three fundamentals or principles in mind, because they are at the core of everything that, allows people to have a good experience. And as you pointed out, ownership is one of the, factors that helps come through our system, which really separates it from anything else that's on the market at the moment. And one of the features of that is the Aura member NFTs, of which there are 5 tiers. These Aura member NFTs allow member benefits to the holders, which one of the benefits from an exchange perspective is to reward the holders in the native token or blockchain that they're trading on. So in regards to Ethereum, for example, we'll be making payment rewards or member rewards to holders of the Aura member NFTs quarterly, and this is all automated. It's through splitter wallets, and the specific allocations are all laid out, visible for people to see, whether it be in our light paper, the pitch deck, or in the Aura Exchange Discord. And the 5 different tiers come with different benefits, whether it be a different percentage of allocation of rewards, or the amount of supply there is, or the amount that someone can mint per wallet, and then other utilities that we've got lined up but haven't made public yet. But some of are things like different multipliers for staking. So we have a cryo vault that's currently active in the auraexchange.org site. The cryo vault has the Zoe token in there, which will be the ecosystem utility token, which brings us back to that Lord Labs NFT system or collection. And so, onboarding partner projects, they're able to stake their own NFTs for Zoe token. People can stake their zombies for Zoe token. Projects that have a token can also, have that interact with the cryo vault. So there's there's a number of different utilities with those Aura Club member NFTs to have higher staking multipliers is a huge benefit. And one of the things I think it's important to point out in regards to those Aura Club member NFTs is the way that we've designed them in regards to how many people can mint, how many there are within the different tiers, is really to try and get as many as possible into as many different people's hands or wallets as possible, so that we can ultimately reward, more people within the Web3 or blockchain ecosystem or industry. And that's a huge factor for us. And again, it doesn't matter if it's people who are here in Web3 now or people who are coming in within the next few months or couple of years. We're looking to make sure that the ratios of people who are having a good experience are a lot higher than the ratios of people having a bad experience. And for us, that's a massive play and a huge factor for the industry to grow forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned education. I think that is very essential. And it seems like Aura is not only something that gives ownership back, but also helps educate those that are interested, especially community members that might be artists, but they're missing the next steps.
Yes, education not only is one of our 3 core principles, but it's a huge thing for my co-founder, Dustin. He's already got an education concept that's set up in regards to teaching school kids, and has already discussed these plans with schools within the US, which is something that he's looking to launch very soon. Some of the connections we've made with others within the NFT industry, and even very recently, have been quite interesting and along the same lines. So we'll be looking to even implement this type of, education for school kids, not only through the US, but across Europe as well. So that's one factor in regards to education, but also education of, the people who are using the blockchain. It's very important to make sure that people know how to, do the basics like, set up a wallet and those sorts of things, but also constant education and helping people improve their knowledge and keep up to date with the changes within the industry. Safety is a huge part. Safety and security is a huge part of education.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We're very fortunate to have Third Web as a partner. That company itself is just amazing in what they do and the levels that they've helped us within our, coding, contract, security, etc. And that's something that we'll continue, and we're very pleased to have them on board and very thankful. And that brings me back to that education of people that are coming into Web3 by having a system that is constantly being updated from a security perspective. It removes the chances of individuals clicking on outdated links or utilizing outdated or NFTs or crypto with outdated contracts, which then can lead to a raft of issues. So it's very important for us to make sure that people within not only our ecosystem of Aura and the Lord Labs NFTs, but helping educate the people, and we can do that by making sure that our our exchange and the services that we provide are of first class. And the goal for us is to be the gold standard within the industry, and to force others to change. that's key. If we can start to lead the way, which we're already doing, one of our services, Rug Rescues, we haven't even launched publicly yet, but it's already been utilized by a number of projects, which is fantastic to see. And it just goes to show that there is a real need for these services that we've got lined up or have created, and people are not only willing to accept them, but wanting to use them even before we've launched them. So, it gives us a lot of satisfaction to know that the path we're on is the right one, and the people that we've already brought into the community that have, gravitated towards our community, such as, yourselves, we're very thankful for, because I haven't found a single person with a negative mindset or aspect to them. It's, we have this positive outlook, and it seems to be attracting positive people. And, we're very excited to be moving forward, especially with, the Phoenix blockchain, for one, being a newer blockchain. You guys have already developed something that's quite amazing in what you've got set up, and you're kind of on the same path that we are, and this is a big factor to the industry moving forward, is to have a collective of people, no matter what level they're at, or whether it's crypto or NFTs or both, or community members, all having that same mindset and goal of leading the industry forward, all coming together. That's how the industry will grow rapidly and prepare for the masses to come in.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. And that's always been our drive as well, community focused, and how we can, as a community, rise up together. And just like you said, Third Web was almost a perfect coupling. When Dustin approached us, when he showed us what they're doing, what they're planning on doing, the solutions that they offer. I mean, it's just an amazing platform. And the fact that Aura Exchange is literally hosted completely by Third Web. Obviously, you guys have your own coding in addition, but the fact that something such a intricate system can be created from that is just a beautiful example of how you can use documentation and tutorials on Third Web to create something amazing.
Yeah, that NFT Player Pro, I used a Third Web SDK for that, and the Wallet Connect from it as well. And you see how great that thing came out.
Yeah, that's another example. Third Web is just offering solutions and helping people that might have not. I mean, how many different guidebooks would you have to go through to try to figure out the SDK?
Well, yeah, I started to write the code myself because there's nothing else like it. Have you seen it yet, Aaron?
Yes, I have, and I was actually just looking at the NFT Players .com link that you posted earlier before jumping on.
That's been one of the major issues for like music NFTs and musicians that want to deploy their own songs on a blockchain, is they've had no way to interact with it, because you go to MetaMask, it doesn't play anything. You might get lucky and have like a really cool Block Scout Explorer like we do that lets you play, different types of codecs. But for the most part, aside from like a GIF or an APNG file, you're not really going to get to interact with your NFTs. So I'm trying to bridge that solution.
Yeah, it's great that you had the idea to again, I guess, find a solution to a problem, and then two, the fact that Third Web had created the coding, etc., to allow people to come in and really build these products that the industry needs. I mean, I'm a huge one for music. For me, energy is key in life, and music provides, the energies that we need at different times in our lives. And I've connected with so many musicians and artists just through Web3. And like I said previously, we were driving around artists and musicians for many years. So, getting to speak to people at the top of the game, whether it's rock, pop, raps, whatever it, was great for me, and standing side of stage while concerts were going on and stuff. To see these sorts of features and products coming out into Web3 is great, because you're right. You go and buy an NFT, and there's nothing within current extension browsers that allow for those to be played. The only way you're going to hear it is off of an exchange when you click on the NFT, but that doesn't help when you're driving in your car and you want to hear some of your favorite NFTs, music NFTs that you've gone and bought.
Oh, exactly. Like Swilly, he's one of our. He granted us access to his songs, and I kind of wanted to. I've had it planned for over a year to build something like this, but now I just click play, and we can listen to NFTs. We can watch them. I mean, it's good. I think when we start working on more developments like this one, it leaves options too, because now you can do podcast NFTs too.
You get at least something.
It leaves the world wide open for NFTs now.
Here's my coffee cup of the day.
I also agree with Rockspin.
All right, sorry, not to take some of the heat away from Aura. Go ahead. I'm paying attention.
Good. No, I mean, with modern features in cars, Apple CarPlay and all these other features where you can stream your music or videos from your phone through to your media system in a car. It'd be great to have something where we're all building larger music collections within our NFTs, so to get to the point where we'd actually be able to have a playlist or something, a favorite playlist where we can have those pumping out to our car. That'll be pretty cool while we're driving.
Yep. And the best part, I think, too, is whereas like Spotify, I think they have to sell something like upwards of 100,000 songs to get $1. If they sell their own songs via NFTs, they make 100% of the profit, aside from gas fees. So kind of have to pick your battles with that. You deploy on Ethereum, you're definitely going to be paying some hefty fees, probably more than the NFT is worth. But if you pick a cheap chain, something with minimal gas fees, that's pure profit, which I think should go to artists.
Yeah, agreed. That's one of the biggest reasons why I've been connecting with musicians within the ecosystem or the industry, because the whole premise of music NFTs allows artists to break away from the shackles of the record labels who dictate to them how many songs they have to put on an album or how many albums they have to put out within a specific contract that they've got, etc. And it's not just musicians that I've met through blockchain industry, but the ones that we were driving around and doing security for, etc. They'd say the same thing. It's hard for them to, we all know who, those of us who are creative, you have moments where you are more creative than other moments. And, to be forced to be creative is kind of a weird concept. But, finally, NFTs and music, the whole Web3 idea allows artists to break away from that and be creative on their own terms. And like you say, actually earn the money for themselves instead of a percentage of it going back to labels or artists, or, like with Spotify, the amount that they have to have viewed just to make a few dollars. The whole world's changing. Blockchain, I think, is at the forefront of that. There's so many different ways that we can interact with society and music, NFTs. They're just a couple of parts of the whole idea. There's so many avenues that we've already begun to explore. And in regards to Aura Exchange and the Aura Hub, there's a lot more that we've got still to come that we haven't made live yet. And as we know, as we evolve as an industry, or as a blockchain, or as a business or a company within crypto and NFTs, there's always new ideas coming forward that we can build on. So some of the other things that we have included within the current Aura Exchange or Aura Hub, and for those listeners that are wondering, how in depth is this project? It's huge. Everything that we've done so far has been self-funded from Dustin and I, and we've put out a huge level of features that no other marketplace has. But like I said just now, there's a lot more still to come. Some of the features that we've currently got are the rug rescues, the code audits. These are all within the Aura Lite version that we're calling it, as we build up towards the Aura Advanced Marketplace. Then there's the Aura Domain service that was recently launched a few days ago. We have, again, sticking to those core principles of safety, efficiency, and education with the Aura Domains, which are an ENS service. Unlike others, it's important for us to know that we're helping people have a productive and efficient experience. And so the domains through the Aura Domain service are actually a one-time fee. Unlike others, you don't have to register them for a time frame and then go back and register them again, which is great. It obviously keeps costs down. It means someone else can't snipe your ENS once it runs out of time and you forgot about re-registering, etc. So that's another feature that we've added in. We do have the PCMs, which are private customized marketplace. PCM is basically an exchange that we build for partner projects. A private marketplace that's token gated, which allows community members to be able to trade their NFTs within the project's marketplace rather than on public marketplaces. Why would we build something like this? I've had people ask. It's quite simple. At the moment, the public marketplaces that are currently in the industry, they're all about greed. They're all about lining their own pockets. There's not a lot of features that they provide that are done or implemented in order to, give a better experience to the people who are trading and really providing money to those exchanges. And that's one of the key things about Aura Exchange is it's been set up in order to be, one, user-friendly, two, rewarding for users, but also three, rewarding for projects, and for us to provide utilities, which isn't done by other exchanges, provide utilities for projects within the industry. That's a huge play in the sense that it helps projects with other avenues of revenue. And for projects to survive in the industry, they need funds coming in. So instead of people trading, a particular project's NFTs on a public marketplace and that, providing transaction fees and revenue to the marketplace that doesn't give back to anyone, by having these PCMs, the project's communities can trade within the PCM, which then allows those transaction fees to come back to the project and go into the project team wallet, giving the project more funds to help continue to build and grow. So it's really, I call it the circle of win. So we all know about the win-win scenario where, if you're doing something with someone and you both get a gain out of it, it's a win-win. The way that we've created our Aura ecosystem, it's a circle of win. So we provide utilities to projects, in most cases for free. And projects then are able to provide these services or utilities to their community members. The community members utilize the services, which then, instead of feeding money into the public exchanges, actually feed money back into the project of which they've already invested in, which then helps the project to be able to build more utilities and provide a better experience for the community, which then obviously benefits the community. And so it's then, by us providing these utilities to projects, we're obviously creating a larger community base for ourselves, which then brings more community members towards Aura and the Aura member NFT. So that's providing us with a bigger user base. And then through the whether it's the exchange or the PCMs, we're providing a portion of that trading revenue profit back to the holders of the Aura member NFTs. So it's a circle of win where it just keeps going. And that's the key to the industry moving forward. Instead of people trade, exchanges make profit, kind of ends there. There's no real wins to it.
Sure, unless you had that NFT by chance.
Yeah, and even, I guess the part where currently where it continues is if it's a strong community. So, for example, when I got into Bored Ape Yacht Club in April 2021 for minting, and then buying from flippers and people dropping basically on the floor, it was the community drive and spirit which gave basically that initial surge within the industry. That's something that we've seen time and time again with projects that there's a term blue chip which is kind of used a bit freely, but it's this whole community spirit is really what helps projects move forward, whether it be explode on the scene or over a period of time build up slowly and become a force in the industry. And those teams who are then well structured and have a good business mindset are the ones that then capitalize on that momentum and that community unity and that passion that the community has for the art and the project and the potential utilities that the team have advised that's coming up. So a lot of the projects that don't tend to make it are the ones where the community spirit isn't as strong, and the team hasn't been business focused or had that business mindset, because ultimately every project that's launched on the blockchain is a business, and those who are coming into the industry or who have projects in the industry need to realize that, because again, it is an industry, and if you don't have a business mindset or a plan, then you're increasing your chances of failure. And we all know that there's a lot of rugs that happen, whether it is in crypto or in NFTs. And for the most part, that's simply because projects weren't very well prepared for, how to continue after their mint. And they get the mint, and then they've provided a set of possible utilities in a roadmap. And, there are a lot of projects that went by the wayside when the recent bear market kicked in, because the value of ETH or whatever, currency or chain it was that they'd put their project on had obviously lost dollar value as the bear market kicked in. So therefore they didn't have as much funds available as they thought in order to implement the strategies or the utilities that they had in place. So it's very important, moving forward. I think that, and this is something that we talk about a lot, is that projects need to understand that they are a business and to have that mindset. And it's one of the big reasons why Aura Exchange provide utilities to projects. It's so that we can help, one, get involved, with a project and give some sort of guidance and assistance to ensure that these projects that come to us and are eager to be involved do have a plan moving forward. But two, we're providing utilities for them for free, so they don't have to use their funds that they've made from a mint or out of their pocket in order to help it grow. And it means those funds that they've saved, they can put towards continuing to build or other factors. So, that circle of win for us is what we think, I believe is a huge factor in helping the current crop of projects. And whilst we've only done it for the most part so far on Ethereum and a couple of projects on Solana, as you know, with the Phoenix blockchain that's growing, the growth realistically can be infinite. So we're very excited about the future. We feel as though the time is right for, to have this sort of really in-depth and focused project hit the industry because of what people who are already in Web3 have experienced. And like I said before, there's a lot of amazing people and projects that are gravitating towards us leading up to launch. So very excited for what's still to come.
Yes, we are too. And I think this is really cool because I've always heard about you from Dustin in some capacity, because I've always been around with the Chronic Cat side. And it's really great to see everything materializing in front of us and the partnerships that are going to happen through this, the community outreach, the ability for artists to create their own platform without having to rely on 7 different methods. They can have a comms, they can have a marketplace, they can have a staking area, they can have a farming area, they can have an ENS domain service, like all this stuff all together in one platform, and eventually maybe even something much grander is super exciting.
The idea of us creating these features that are intertwined with each other allows people to not have to, jump from an exchange, tab on their browser to browser extension to a couple of different social media platforms, one of which is renowned for people dropping in scammy links, people accidentally clicking on the wrong link, or being misled into thinking there's a new drop or something, clicking on a link and leading to wallets being drained. So to remove the amount of opportunities people can provide these negative angles where from a scammy perspective is really important for us, and to provide a product that is intertwined, it is in-house, allowing people to have a safe experience and not be exposed to that negativity. That's a massive play, not just for us, but for the industry. And that's one of the I think the big things that people are realizing as they start to delve into what exactly is the Aura Hub and the Aura Exchange and the features that are being provided, and then seeing how they link together, not only gets us excited, but gets people who are coming into it excited as well.
I am very excited.
Well, a third party called Dowlins, they're taking over our governance setup. So here pretty soon, they've already got a nice UI for everybody to interact with and create proposals, vote on proposals. Plus, it has like a whole community dashboard as well. And then my best news of the week is that Dustin has finished the implementation of Sourcify. So pretty soon, anybody that's using ThirdWeb should be able to verify their contracts directly from ThirdWeb.
Yeah, that'll help a lot of stuff, tremendously, especially with the marketplace and all that. But yeah, the Sourcify thing was no joke. That was a nightmare.
My navigation of GitHub was the one thing that was going to hold me back from that.
Yeah,
like my repos just look like trash on my own personal account.
I mean, all you had to do was fork it, and that was it. But yeah, there was a little bit more to it than just forking it. So,
you might also see some other stuff happening because we are kind of going back into the different stuff that, like our decks, and trying to fix some stuff. Fluffy's looking at the 9 decimal issue with the contract that it's not pulling up, trying to brute force it.
Yeah, break it. That's always good.
Yeah, that and our NFT viewer, I want to make some updates using the ThirdWeb MetaMask Connect. Yep. That way you can connect from any internet source. It doesn't necessarily mean if you're on your phone you have to go through MetaMask browser to use it. You can just use it directly from Internet Explorer. Not only that, I discovered some new API sources, so it should make grabbing images for NFTs a lot easier, because you can do it from any NFT image that a particular wallet address owns, or any NFT address on that contract that wallet owns. I finally figured out the API calls for that, so that'll make upgrading things like the NFT viewer much, much better.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, especially because we know ThirdWeb and Aura Exchange would probably want to use this.
Oh, definitely. It could be a win-win for everyone.
Win-win.
Win-win-win. Moon.
Big win.
Win-moon.
Win-dev. Win-moon.
Win-mullet.
No, we don't do that. We don't talk about mullet.
We do. We definitely do.
Maybe if Phoenix hits 1 billion market cap, we'll talk.
That's all.
Let's see.
Oh no, we need like a definite answer. You got to give us a yes at some point. Like we need
I'm gonna need like hair plugs to pull it off.
No, you don't. You could have a bullet.
At 1 billion, a bullet. Yeah.
There you go.
A back mullet. Oh boy. I think there's lots of stuff here, and I think let's Dustin and I and Fluffy and board chairman we'll finalize everything, and we'll get it out hopefully this week, maybe next week, depending on your guys' schedule, and if we can kind of put this together, because we have most of I think the ideas already, but.
Yep, we'll get it going. I've got a busy week. Of course, like I said, I'm leaving for Miami in 2 weeks, and I've got 3 mints this week. So yeah, but yeah, we'll definitely get it taken care of. So
yeah, let's find some time and then finalize Phoenix and get that out there. Have a premier marketplace. We'll put it on our website. Have it a partnership and just go. We just go with this.
Sounds good.
Third party's the way. Episode 39 next week. Let's go.
Woo! going to open it up for Q&A?
Hey, Robbie, you got some questions, bro?
Yeah, I got loads of questions.
Oh, yeah, back to Q&A.
Thank you so much for joining us today. No. Thank you so much for joining us today.
There, Robbie.
We'll see you. We will all see you again next week for episode.